Let's imagine for a moment that you are sitting in a coffee shop and you have an opportunity to sit down alongside a future you. The gentleman comes into the coffee shop and sits in a chair across from you, and you're getting a good look at him. You can see him, right? You're getting a feel for his energy, his demeanor, what's going on with him, right? See him for a moment. Now, you guys engage in a conversation, just kicking it off, like, how's life? How you doing? And he's just sharing with you, now that he's no longer aligned with compulsive behaviors, but he is aligned with what your reboot definition is. He is someone who followed through with that standard. He is following through with the type of goals that you have. He's following through with the type of life that you actually want to live, as opposed to just running away from or avoiding the type of life that you don't want to live. He actually ran towards something as opposed to just running away all the time, right? So he's at that destination. He made it. And he's sharing with you just how he's feeling about himself, about his relationship, his finances, his health, right? And he's just sharing his day-to-day with you. Now, if you're having trouble kind of finding out what your reboot definition might be, try that exercise out. Like, really see this guy. You know what I mean? Because your reboot definition, it's not just this nice thought or idea or image to motivate you. It's a person. You know? It's a man. It's an actual human being. This isn't just merely a behavioral modification. It's an identity change, right? It's like your behaviors aren't changing because of willpower. Your behaviors are changing because your identity has changed. You see what I'm saying? Your behaviors follow suit with the type of person that you are now. I once thought as a boy, but when I became a man, I put childish things away. That is the path that we're taking. And whatever that man looks like, you get to define that. That essentially is what your reboot definition is. So I know we hear that term often, but I think that some guys kind of get a little lost in the sauce. Just really break it down. Make it simple. From your gut. We know what you don't want, right? It's like we're all like had an unhealthy relationship with such and such behavior, so we know what you don't want. What do you want? And the more consistent and the more intentional you are with running toward that thing that you actually do want, that lifestyle, that relationship, that financial situation, that state of health, state of mind, maybe, that spirituality that you actually do want, that's how you reboot. Straight up. It's pursuing that, you know? So I really just wanted to break down this concept because, like I said, we speak about it often, but just in case anyone might be a little confused, or you ever kind of get caught up in the day-to-day and you kind of feel like you're not really moving anywhere? Where it's like, yeah, like I'm watching modules and like, yeah, I'm using tools, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling motivated. I'm not really feeling I'm improving. Some of us, maybe. It might be worth revisiting your reboot definition, aka that man that you actually want to become. The more clear you are on not just what that is, but who that person is, the more clear direction you'll be able to have when it comes to, knowing what next move to make. I mean, think of it this way. It's much easier to hit bullseye when you actually know what the target is. It's like we can drive in a car to get to a certain destination, but if we don't plug the address into the GPS, we're just like driving around hoping we find something we like. Be very intentional and shameless. This is what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who I want to be. And again, the more consistent and more intentional you are about becoming that type of person, that's how you reboot. And you're making your way there when acting more like that rebooted self is less effortful. It's like you're you've conditioned yourself to make decisions at a new standard so often that it's less to think about. You know what I mean? So that's the concept of reboot definition. That's the mission. That's the goal. And I want to see each and every one of you pursue that and achieve that in your own way. Follow the system, but the best part is you get to define what the finish line is.